Two brothers grew up under the same roof. Same parents. Same schools. Same opportunities. They even chose similar careers and earned nearly the same income for most of their lives. But at 65, their lives looked completely different. One retired with over $1.4 million invested, a paid-off home, and total financial freedom. Winters in Arizona. Helping grandkids with college. Never worrying about restaurant prices. The other retired with less than $200,000 saved, a mortgage still hanging over him, and constant financial stress. He worked part-time just to cover expenses, and spent nights wondering whether he could afford both his medication and property taxes. Same upbringing. Same earning power. Completely different outcomes. And the difference didn't happen in their 20s. Not in their 30s. Not in their 50s. It happened almost entirely in their 40s. That decade quietly determined the rest of their lives. Because your 40s are financially different from every other stage of life. The decisions you make there carry massive consequences, not because they seem dramatic in the moment, but because they compound for decades afterward. Today, I want to show you exactly why your 40s matter so much, the decisions that separate comfortable retirement from stressed retirement, and how to make sure you end up on the right side of that divide. Why your 40s matter so much. Your 40s sit at the intersection of three powerful financial forces. The first is peak earning power. For most people, income peaks somewhere between 42 and 55. You're earning more than ever before, and likely more than you ever will again. A 45-year-old making $120,000 has more raw material available for building wealth than at any earlier point in life. The second force is compounding time. At 40, you still have around 25 years before retirement. That's enough time for invested money to multiply several times over. A dollar invested at 40 works dramatically harder than a dollar invested at 55. And the third force is expense stabilization. By your 40s, many early life expenses begin leveling out. The furniture is bought. The career wardrobe exists. Kids become more independent. Your financial life has more room than it did in your 30s. The question is, does that extra margin go toward investments or lifestyle inflation? Because that answer changes everything. The math most people never run. Imagine someone reaches 40 with $100,000 invested. They earn $110,000 a year and save 15% consistently until retirement, investing in simple index funds returning 8% annually. By 65, they end up with roughly $1.35 million. But if they save aggressively later instead, cutting retirement contributions during their 40s, then trying to catch up in their 50s, the outcome changes dramatically. Saving only 5% during their 40s, and increasing later leaves them with around $780,000 instead. That's over $500,000 lost from just one decade of smaller contributions. And here's the brutal part. The lost time can never be recovered. The money invested in your 40s has decades to compound. Money invested later doesn't. Time is doing most of the heavy lifting. The housing decision that costs millions. Now let's talk about the biggest financial decision most people make in their 40s. Upgrading the house. The bigger home feels justified. The kids need space. Your income has grown. You've worked hard. But the math underneath that decision is enormous. A family upgrading from a $350,000 home to a $600,000 home can easily increase housing costs by $1,500 to $2,000 per month. That extra payment, invested instead from age 40 to 65, could grow into over $1 million. Most people think they're spending an extra $1,800 a month. What they're really spending is future freedom. The ability to retire early, to work less, to help their children later in life, to handle emergencies without panic. The house upgrade often costs far more than the house itself. Lifestyle inflation quietly wins. Your 40s also bring social pressure. Friends renovate kitchens. Neighbors buy luxury SUVs. Co-workers take elaborate vacations. And slowly, your lifestyle expands to match the people around you. Not because you're reckless. Because it feels normal. That's how lifestyle inflation works. Quietly. Gradually. Almost invisibly. A nicer car here. a bigger vacation there, private sports training for the kids, higher-end restaurants because you've earned it. Each individual decision feels reasonable, but together they can permanently change your retirement outcome. Two families, two futures. David and Christine entered their 40s earning $165,000 combined with decent retirement savings. They upgraded their home, reduced retirement contributions temporarily, bought nicer cars, took on loans for college costs. Nothing felt irresponsible in the moment. But by age 50, despite 10 years of work and investing, their retirement balance had barely moved. Eventually they tried catching up aggressively, but by retirement they had around $685,000, not enough for the lifestyle they expected. Now compare them to Robert and Jennifer. Similar income, similar starting point, but they stayed in their modest home, bought used cars, kept retirement contributions high, had honest conversations with their kids about college affordability. By 50, their retirement accounts had more than tripled. By 65, they had over $1.6 million invested and a paid-off home. Same incomes, different decisions, different futures. And here's the part most people miss. During their 40s, both families felt roughly equally happy. Research consistently shows lifestyle upgrades only create temporary happiness boosts. After a year or two, the new normal stops feeling special. David and Christine didn't enjoy life more long-term. They simply spent more. The trap most people fall into. The hardest part about financial discipline in your 40s is psychological. Because after decades of working, the desire to finally enjoy your success feels completely justified. You start asking, if not now, then when? And that's where most people get trapped. Because the upgraded house feels exciting for maybe 18 months. The luxury car feels thrilling for a year. Then both become normal, while the financial consequences remain for decades. Temporary pleasure. True freedom comes from converting your highest earning years into long-term stability, not consuming every dollar you make trying to look successful. If you're in your 40s right now, audit every major expense. Housing, vehículos, travel, lifestyle. Ask yourself honestly, is this improving my life, or just improving the image of my life? Because every dollar flowing toward lifestyle inflation is a dollar no longer building future security. And if you're behind already, you still have time. Increase your savings rate. Downsize if necessary. Sell expensive vehicles. Pursue higher income opportunities while you still can. Small decisions now still matter enormously. Final thought. Picture yourself at 70. In one version of your future, you wake up relaxed. You travel. You help your family. Unexpected expenses don't scare you. In the other version, every bill creates stress. You worry about repairs, healthcare, and how long your savings will last. Both futures are created decades earlier, mostly during your 40s. Not by luck, not by intelligence, by repeated decisions about housing, cars, lifestyle, career, and spending. Your 40s will pass either way. The only question is which version of your future self you're building right now. Because this decade doesn't just influence retirement. It quietly decides it.